What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Youth Experience Podcast, aka...
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. We're super excited to be here, to be doing this again. With me are two very special guests. I have with me Sally and Lily. Say hello, both of you.
Hey. Sup?
Yeah, sup, yeah. I think you guys were... So Jesse and Ruthie, as soon as I said we were going to do this, were like, us. And then you two right after were like, no, us. And I was like, all right, well, I know who I'm going to, like, right off the bat for the first two. So, I don't know. You guys said you're not nervous at all.
I mean, no.
No? Feeling
it's just
confident?
Conversation.
It's just conversation. I like the way you think about that. All right, good. Well, cool. Well, give me, I have everybody do this right off the jump. Give me your best 15-second self-promotion. Who are you? What are you about? Like, let me know.
Who's going first? Me or you?
Yeah, you.
Me? Okay. I'm Sally Matson. I'm a junior, and I'm really funny, and I can juggle, kind of.
That's impressive. I like that. No, that's nice. She can juggle, kind of. So keep that in mind if you ever need lessons. All right.
I'm Lily Churchwell. I'm 16. I'm a sophomore. I can touch my tongue to my nose.
Do it. Nice.
That was kind of gross, but okay. And I like music things.
She likes music things. Okay, we'll come back to that later. That'll be part of the thing that we do. That's cool. Well, I'm really excited to have you guys on. I feel like when I first got here and started kind of like doing the youth group stuff, I feel like we all kind of connected fairly quickly. I was really nervous that it was going to take me forever to get any of you to want to talk to me. So having you guys that were like, oh, well, you know, like having conversations with me right off the jump, you guys helped me like feel better about the whole thing. So I figured why not just have you guys on early because I'm already comfortable with you. So
there you go.
I wanted to ask this question right off the jump, and we'll kind of get things going this way. One of my favorite things, and I've said this on both the other episodes, I love how like there's a million things that we could be concerned about, and we're only one person. We do not have enough time to worry about everything. So what is something that you feel like you've kind of been led to like focus on, something that you give your attention to?
Okay. I think that as like a Christian, I think the way that other people like view Christians, or the way that Christians like express themselves to other people, because I think sometimes, I don't know, like we're supposed to be Jesus-like, and so it's a struggle whenever people, you know, aren't being very Jesus-like, me included. Yeah. So I think that's kind of a struggle I've been having lately, kind of accepting that you can be Christian and have like completely different views as me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
and we could still both be equally Christian.
Yes.
Yeah. But then there's also, like you said, like there's the aspect of having to live that out. Like you can't just say
and
that
how you interact with other people and bring them into faith without like bringing them down. I think is really hard.
Yeah, it's a really hard subject to even try to figure out how to do it yourself. Like nonetheless, like how do I teach others to do it? Yeah, that's a really cool one. I like that a lot. That's good. All right, Lily, what you got?
Mine's very broad, but like God gave us free will, you know? So like if he gave us free will, you should let people do what they want to do, you know? And like I understand like you want everybody to be loved by God. Well, God loves everybody in the first place, you know? Mm-hmm. You want everybody to love God, you know?
You want everyone to accept that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
However, God gave us free will, you know? So if you just can't force anybody into anything, you know?
Yeah, I think you guys' things really go kind of together because...
we didn't even plan it.
Yeah, and we didn't. Yeah, even though you guys said you were like a hive mind earlier. But yeah, I mean, because what you said is like there's a certain delicacy of like how do we act the way that we say that we want to act? Like how do we act how we believe? And then what you're saying is for people that choose not to do that, what does it look like for us to still be faithful and to still be Christians, but at the same time not be like, you have to be like us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you know, we want nothing to do with you, or otherwise you're a lost cause. Like, how do we still interact with people like that? That's really cool. I like how those kind of go together. Well, so like, have you guys had those interactions as far as like just living life here in Hillsborough? Like, do you have an example of like, you don't have to like name drop or anything like that, but like,
Yeah. I think that a lot of my friends currently aren't Christians, and so it's hard to like sometimes like be a Christian and not like because you don't want to like preach at them, because
Right.
that's like the worst way, in my opinion, sometimes to get attention, their attention. And so, I don't know, like kind of balancing out like how to like act like a Christian, and like you like not like force them into faith by no means.
Right.
But I think the best way sometimes is to just kind of be as Jesus-like as you can.
Yeah, almost to just like exist with them rather than like be like you, like talking down like you need to be more like me.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah. And that makes things more relational too. Like it's not like one of my goals as a youth pastor. Obviously, yes, I'm older than you guys and like it's my job to be like your youth pastor, but at the same time, like I don't want you guys to only think of me as like, oh, that's Pastor Cooper, you know, like I want us to at some level also be friends, because if we're not, if that relationship's not there, then like how can I expect you guys to really care about what I'm talking about? So yeah, I like that. Lily, do you have anything that you've like kind of seen in your experience so far?
I mean, yeah, there is always like the things, you know, but I mean, I don't know. Like, you just gotta let people live how they want to live, and, I mean, of course you can, like, invite them to come to church with you.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's always a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But, like, you just gotta...
But they can say no.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can still be friends with them
without,
if they
like,
say no.
shaming them for saying no.
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. I think that's a really good start. Okay, so I think that goes well with the kind of next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is... I feel like a lot of things are changing as far as like from generation to generation. And I know that some of it's a cycle, but I think the way your generation, maybe my generation, am I old enough to call myself part of this generation? Or am I too old? Am I in the next one?
I think we're kind of in that generation still.
Yeah, we're kind of, yeah, okay. That's fair. Oh, this is Dylan's behind the camera this time. Dylan finally got a break from his insanely busy prison job to be able to like help us out here. So we're happy to have him. But yeah, so I feel like there's just so many things that we do differently as opposed to kind of how they've, I guess, always been done. Do you guys have something that you can like pinpoint where you're like, we are not the same, like when it comes to like these things? I feel like I'll kind of like segue using what we were just talking about, and again, I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying everybody's like this, but I definitely feel like I've met a lot of people in the older generation that are very much like, you believe what I believe or find a new friend, like you know, kind of in that way. And I feel like my experience with people my age and younger has very much been like, hey, we might not see eye to eye on everything, but like I still want to be friends. So that's like one thing I've really seen that I love about this generation. So like, do you guys have something like that?
Yeah, I definitely feel that we're more like, obviously generalization, obviously can't do that at all.
Right, yeah.
Like,
we're not saying everyone is like this, yeah.
For the most part though, I feel like people in our generation are more understanding of things. Yeah, depending on who it is. Like, because you can always think of people who aren't and who are, but sure. Most of the time, from my experience, I feel like people closer to my age rather than closer to like people who are older are more accepting, and just because they've grown up differently, you know, like we just all grow up differently than the other people.
Yeah, that's very true. I think you guys really care about how what you do affects other people. Like I've seen that like so many times where people like you guys will be hesitant to do something that would be good because you're scared that it like might hurt somebody else. And so while sometimes I think that holds you guys back from doing things that would be good, at the same time, I like very much respect the idea of you guys kind of being like, well, I don't want to like negatively impact somebody on accident. So like I have to be very careful about how I do things. I really like that about you guys. Yeah. Sally, do you have one?
Yeah, I think that like kind of to bring a more negative side of it, like our generation is very, I would say like self-focused, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like compared to other generations, I think that they put so much effort into being like, they like put themselves last every time, which had a very negative effect, and like kind of like mental health wise,
right?
I feel like that brought a negative effect. But at the same time, I think sometimes our generation is a little bit too like it's important to put yourself first on some occasions and like kind of better yourself, but not always. Right. Like I think people sometimes get caught up in the self-focus, like me before others, that they kind of forget that you kind of sometimes do have to, like there's a healthy way to put others before yourself that you kind of, I don't know, we sometimes forget as a generation.
Yeah,
I think that.
I definitely would agree with that. I think it's a really good insight that you have there. Yeah, and sometimes it's like the pendulum swing, right? Like when you see one group of people doing something, you're like, well, I'm going to do the opposite. And so like, then you end up existing on two opposite sides when like, yes, there are pros to both, but there are also some like very much like there are negatives to both. And that's true. You definitely see people that are a little more concerned about like me. Like I do things to make me happy. I don't really care, you know? And so like, I think you guys have highlighted literally the opposites of like living kind of the way that you guys do, which is one is, you know, sometimes we are like so sensitive to what other people think that it affects like doing things that we would normally think that are good things. But then sometimes we can be more like, no, I'm just going to do me.
Yes.
And then we see that kind of negatively play itself out. That's really good. I like that a lot. We're going to segue. We're going to go into more of what we kind of came here to talk about. And we're going to talk more about relationships in high school. And when I say relationships, like maybe romantic, but we're also talking about just like friendships, and we're talking about like family relationships and things like that. But before we get to that, we have something to do. Don't look at the computer. That's cheating, Sally. You know better. We have some trivia to do. All right. We've done this in both other episodes. So far, I think the bar is 7. I think 7 for Trevor and for both Jesse and Ruthie. So now, regardless of how you answer, I'm going to be sending you guys home with some, you know, with some merch, with some stickers that you guys can, you can add one to your water bottle. You can, you know, which that's a nice product placement there, by the way. Yeah. What's the brand? What do you got?
Nalgene.
Any review? Quick review?
It's great.
It's great. That's all you need to hear.
I think it's mid at best.
It's mid at best. Okay. Well, you got to have both sides. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't seem right. All right, well, let's do some trivia, okay? So I'm going to ask the question. There's not like a time limit. I feel free to consult with one another. Or if you want to be like Jesse and Ruthie, where you can just be Jesse and be like, hey, Ruthie, what do you think? I'm just kidding, Jesse. I'm sorry. You did great. You did so good. All right, here's question number 1. Ready? What is the state nickname for Texas?
State nickname?
Like the big state or something?
Oh, yeah, maybe. That sounds good. Something like that. Big... That sounds good, whatever you just said. Not the big state.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the big something. Like the big...
You guys know what I'm referring to, right? How like Illinois were like the land of Lincoln, and like every state has like a thing, right? So they have like a nickname.
I have no idea. I think something with big. I don't know, Lily. What do you think?
I have no idea. The big state.
The big state. Are you thinking of like everything's bigger in Texas?
Yeah.
Like, are you thinking of like that kind of thing? Okay. Do you want to know?
I mean,
are you going with the big state?
We're obviously wrong, so...
I mean, yeah, you're not right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll say that it's...
Do you have anything better than the big state?
What's in Texas?
Cowboys?
Ooh, that's good.
The Cowboy State?
The Cowboy State?
All right.
State of Cowboys.
The State of Cowboys.
State of Cowboys.
Well, however you word it, it's wrong.
dang.
And the correct answer is the Lone Star State.
I was not
That's
going
what
to
they
get
call
that.
I did know
themselves.
that.
You did know that.
Well, I like knew in the back of my head.
I'm pretty sure it refers
would've
to their
guessed
state flag, if I remember. If
Yeah.
I'm remembering right. Yeah, so they have
that's
like
like
one star on their
That's
state
kind
flag.
of lonely.
All right, well, you're 0 for 1. So, yeah, we got to bounce back here, okay? Number 2, what is Mark Twain's real name?
I don't even know who that is.
It's the guy who wrote the...
The guy who wrote
She
the
said,
what?
I don't even know who that is.
The guy who wrote
She's
the
like-
what?
She's like, I don't do school. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did he write like some old book?
Yeah.
Like the guy with the
Okay,
with the
you gave us like
picket fence?
Scholar Bowl like questions.
I feel like my questions have been very much the same so far. I
Wait,
think-
is he the guy with the white fence that you like paint with?
Didn't he write? Which one did he write? Was it
Can
the
you let me tell us?
Huckleberry
Yep.
Finn?
That's
Okay.
that's the fence guy.
Well, I don't know who the fence.
Bro, I
I
have
don't
no
know what
idea.
fence guy means. Mark Twain.
Twain's
What
real name
is it like? Real name.
Thomas.
I think more like Edward.
It's giving Edward.
Maybe it's something really weird.
Is Mark Twain giving you Edward
Okay, Mark
vibes?
Twain is kind of basic, so maybe it's something really out there.
like Marcus Twain. It's giving Marcus Twain.
No, I think it's like. What's a really out there name?
Josephine.
Ooh.
Josephine.
Or it's really basic, like Bill.
Like Bill Smith or something?
Yeah, Bill Smith. Should we go
Bill
with that?
Smith.
It's giving Bill Smith.
Bill Smith vibes. All right. His real name is Samuel Clemens. That is
I
Mark
would
Twain's
never
real
gotten
name.
that.
I'm a little surprised. I thought that was more general knowledge
I would
than.
have gotten his first name, but I honestly wouldn't have
Oh,
gotten
okay. All right. Well,
Clemens. No wonder he changed his name.
I know somebody named Clemens.
Sorry, my
Wait,
Twain stands out there.
hold on. You said Clemens. No wonder he changed his name. Is that what you
like
said?
Clemens.
I know somebody named Clemens.
So you're saying it's just an
I'm sorry if your
unfortunate
name's
name?
Clemens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if your name's Clemens.
That's fair. Okay, well, 0 for 2. Don't worry, we have a chance to bounce back here.
I knew all the Trevor's.
This one's a little more anatomy based, okay?
I've never taken anatomy.
None of us are in anatomy, but it's okay.
That's alright. How many bones are in the human body?
It's like 280 something.
267?
84. Unless you think it's 200.
I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint. You have the first number right, but you're way too high on the second part.
214.
208?
214 sounds like a nice number. I don't think that's it.
I think it's something something.
260? 206? 206?
I think it's something.
Do you want to go with 206?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
It is 206.
Finally!
That's a good job. Way to adjust and figure it out. So you were like 260, 206, like you had the 6 right. You just had it was just the 6. That's all you had to do. All right, so you got one. There we go. Yeah, high five it up. Number 4. So you're 1 for 3. Here's number 4. What is the capital of Italy?
Venice? Or...
Isn't that the capital of something else, like Spain?
No, or is it the... Rome? Rome sounds good.
Rome, Italy, yeah.
Or is it...
Yeah.
Rome, Italy?
Rome?
Yeah.
We're going with Rome?
Oh, no, I
Or
forgot.
is it Venice?
No,
No.
it's not Venice.
It's not Venice, so Rome.
Yeah.
Rome.
Okay, Rome? It is Rome.
Oh, thank God. Bro, I feel so stupid right now.
I feel so stupid right now. You guys are doing great. You're 2 for 4.
Mitchell Cunningham's
listen.
like, Lily, you're so stupid.
You went.
Don't listen to this Mitchell Cunningham.
Listen, if you're
please.
Mitchell Cunningham and you're watching right now, do not make fun of them. I will give you really hard trivia
Yeah,
questions
Mitchell,
when it's your
don't
turn.
make fun of us.
Yeah, Mitchell. Poor Mitchell.
This is a PSA to Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell just took shots and he's not even doing anything. So, all right, you guys are 2 for 4. Number 5. All right, this is more on the Bible side of things, okay?
Okay.
How many days and nights was Noah on the ark?
40. That sound right? Or is it 42?
Lily's like, it's all you, buddy.
It's all you,
She's-
Sally.
Is it 40 or is it 42? It's one of those.
I would go with your first answer.
40.
Yeah, it's 40. Good job.
Why did I say
Great
40?
job, Sally, and I guess also Lily.
I
Yeah.
don't know why I said 42.
You're doing great.
It just felt right.
You guys are 3 for 5. You guys have bounced back. You're doing very well.
We are doing
Okay.
very well.
All right. Back to we're gonna talk about states again. Okay. All right. What is the capital of North Dakota?
Why'd you do this to us?
Are you kidding me? North Dakota? How do you think
I've been to North Dakota.
I feel like I still know most of my state capitals.
Oh,
So
I never learned any of them.
you guys never learned
No,
the
I
state
never
capitals?
We had to take a test in 5th grade.
We had to
No,
memorize
I didn't.
all of them.
What's it start with like an M?
It's
An
kind of
S?
like
I feel like maybe an
Rocky,
S?
like Rocky Mountain or something.
That's in Colorado.
Oh, I don't know.
Welcome to
I
Rocky
feel like maybe
Mountain.
an S.
North
Does it start with
Dakota.
an S?
It does not.
M?
No.
J?
How many letters are you gonna guess?
ABCD.
If you guys have no, I'll give you a hint. It starts
I would
with B.
B.
Like big rock.
That's
Like big.
that is a thing, I think.
Big.
Is it like Belmont?
It's giving Belmont.
Is North Dakota giving you Belmont vibes?
Kind of, but
Okay, we had to take this test one time in 5th grade.
I never had
and
to
no
take-
one passed it. And
I
she
never had
told
to
us,
take a state company.
She told us we didn't pass, we'd have to retake
Okay,
it, but
is
no
it
one
like
did. It's giving Belmont.
Is it like?
She's like, it's just giving me. She's like taste testing. She's like,
I don't think it's
I'm
Belmont.
getting Belmont.
Vermont. Vermont.
Belgium. Dude, Mitchell Cunningham, don't make fun of me, please.
Why is Mitchell Cunningham a topic of conversation?
I don't know.
You should be thinking about the.
Is it not giving Belmont?
No, it's not getting Belmont.
Oh, okay, well, it's giving Belmont to me.
Boston.
Boston, North Dakota.
It's that. Nope, not that one. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Bismarck.
Denmark? No. She says over the B.
What'd you say?
Bismarck.
I'm assuming we haven't been close at all.
Yeah, I think it's Bismarck.
Bismarck? Final answer, Bismarck.
It is Bismarck.
Is it?
It's Bismarck.
Wait, why'd you you say?
Bismarck, North Dakota.
Wait, why'd you say that?
How did you randomly
You're
come
the
up?
least observant.
Dylan.
Lily looks at nothing but
It's
me.
just like I have so far out of 3 episodes. I have been tricked 3 episodes in a row. First, Trevor gets an answer signed to him by my wife. Then I can't remember how.
Maybe
can't remember
he
how
gave,
the
he
second
gave me all the
episode-
answers.
I don't think he's giving you all the answers.
You don't think
You
so?
got the first 2 wrong, and you knew the other ones. Anyway.
Say so.
All right, fine. I'll give it to you anyway. All right, you're 4
Why?
for 6. Well, okay, so when you said Big Rock, I thought you were going to get close because Big Rock and Bismarck are kind of like similar sounding.
Are they?
I would say that they are. Anyway, all right, let's move on.
Thanks.
Let's move on. All right, number 7. If I have acrophobia,
Oh, I know
what am I afraid of?
Spiders.
Spiders?
No, that's arachnophobia.
Ah.
Dang it.
Arkansas?
Acrophobia. You're afraid of Arkansas. You
mean-
just like cross the state line and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Acrophobia.
I get
Like
more bored when I
acrobats?
drive across Arkansas.
I was
than
like
anything.
a mountain.
No. It's not holes. Isn't holes tribophobia?
Like little
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
holes
that's
bunched
when it's like
together.
bumps and stuff. Yeah.
Phobia. What are the common fears? I don't know.
I will say it's one of the most common.
Oh, is it?
One
Like
of the most
heights?
common fears.
Or, I feel like heights could be because like acrobats.
Logic.
Logic. I think it's heights.
It is heights.
Yes.
Thank you, acrobats, for helping them out with their
Shout out to
answer.
an acrobats.
Shout out to all those acrobats who might be out there listening. All right, you guys are doing really well. You guys are 5 for 7
not doing that
somehow.
well, though.
So you guys have only
given
missed
us hints
2.
on like all of them.
No, only 1. He gave you Bismarck, so that wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't catch it. That's
just
on me.
Bismarck, though.
Yeah. All right, number 8. How many plagues did God send on Egypt?
4, 5, 6, 10.
It's giving. I feel 6. If you say 10.
I mean, should we go through the? Well, I've watched
See.
the movie a few times.
Okay.
So, let's see. This is very. I don't want to. Okay. I think 10.
Is it giving 10?
Do you feel comfortable with that?
No, not at all.
No?
But is that our answer?
I feel like this is an easy one. What is your answer? She thinks it's 6.
No. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Do
Count
you,
them.
do you want to give 2 separate answers and then I can tell you which one is right and
Is
only
one
one
of
of
them
you gets
right?
it right? I don't know. I'm just giving you an option.
No,
Let's just do 10. You know more than I do.
not much more than you do.
Oh wait, it's giving 10.
I don't.
We're going with 10?
Yeah.
It is 10.
Look at us go. That's too easy of a.
Listen, all
I was
right.
about to have to list them, but I thought
You guys
that'd be
are
a
no,
little
you guys
bad
are doing
when I
great.
did.
Listen, you are on pace. If you get these last 2 right,
Didn't we do
you
better than
guys
that?
will have 8, which is better than both of the first 2 episodes.
Without cheating.
Well, both
At
other
all.
both
Not
other
at all.
episodes also like kind of cheated. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah. All right.
A little
So
bit of cheating never hurt no way.
number 9. So last episode, one of the questions was, what is the fastest land animal on Earth? Today's question is, what is the fastest swimming and like fish in the sea?
Like an eel.
An eel. That's an interesting
Dolphin.
answer.
It's giving dolphin too.
I feel like whale maybe because I mean
Whales are slow.
yeah, but they're
Well,
so
are they?
big that no, I
They
don't,
cover
I don't
a lot
think
of
it's
surface
whale.
area?
I don't think it's whale.
I knew this one. I'm just gonna say for everybody out there, I knew this one immediately. So just
Okay.
with age comes wisdom. That's all
Wait,
I'm
when?
saying.
Did I ask?
Yeah, you didn't have to. I'm just letting you know.
I just kind of got you there, but it's okay.
What are we doing? Dolphin? No, I don't think
Like a
dolphins are
shrimp?
actually that fast. Is it?
Oh, is it shrimp?
No, it's not shrimp.
Shrimp don't
I like how you're like, oh.
I mean, you've given away so many answers so far. All
It's
we gotta
giving
do-
dolphin.
I feel like that's just such a basic answer, though. It's like 10. Like, obviously, it's dolphin.
But I feel like, well, he said that he got it immediately.
Then maybe it's dolphin. What about like octopus?
Octopuses can't even walk.
Octopi. You think dolphins do?
I don't know.
How is that a rebuttal to that answer?
No, I mean like they don't like have like they don't like I don't know.
Should we go with
All right.
dolphin?
It's giving dolphin.
All right, it is not a dolphin.
Ah.
It is the swordfish, also known as the sailfish.
Oh, I would have said that.
The swordfish, they can
No,
swim.
you wouldn't have.
They swim approximately 70 miles an hour in the water, so
interesting.
they're fast.
Who
All right,
cares?
you need this one to tie both other episodes
Okay.
so far. Okay, so
Let's get it
this is
rolling.
just for pride. Okay.
Okay.
Number 10. In what year did the first episode of SpongeBob come out?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
You're
all
gonna
my,
have to answer
all
this,
my
Lily.
SpongeBob fans out there.
it's gonna be
I'm
like
afraid
19...
my parents didn't let me watch SpongeBob.
Neither did mine!
Really?
Oh my gosh, Lily. Okay,
We both-
let's guess
none-
together then.
None of our parents let us watch SpongeBob.
Okay,
SpongeBob was my
um,
show.
Let's
That
go
was-
19.
I feel like
What are you
it's really
feeling?
old.
I
Like, it's giving... It's giving...
What is
70s.
really
I'm
old?
like,
Oh, it's giving you 60s or
No,
70s?
we're gonna have to go higher, like 80s, perhaps. Maybe
or lower.
90s.
Should we go lower?
Is it 90s? Is it 2000s? I don't think it's 2000s.
It could be
It's been
2000s.
earlier than 2000s.
It could be 2000s.
Is it giving 2000s? 70s? No?
2000s?
80s or 90s? It's giving 80s or 90s.
I need a year. A decade's not gonna do it. You gotta give me a year.
Well, I think it's in like 4 or 5. 84, 85.
that's
94,
good.
95.
87.
87?
Is it giving 87?
I don't think it is.
We're gonna go 87.
Are we?
What?
It's 1887?
1887, Miss Girl. No.
Okay, for the record, just to say this, I knew all of Trevor's questions.
I'm sorry.
You
I
say
don't know.
that, but you can't prove it. So.
You're right, I can't.
If you want to say 87, say 87.
I don't want to say it.
I feel like I knew this at one
I feel like
point.
it's higher
I'm
than
just gonna go ahead and fix this for you. It's not that. The first episode of SpongeBob came out in 1999.
I was
Really?
closer with the 2000s.
Yeah, you're right. Okay,
So-
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You got 6
You made me a
pounds.
little upset. Like, I feel bad about myself now because that was my cartoon that I grew up on, and you guys were like 85, and I'm like, whoa, I'm not that old, guys.
Well, they had like really
As
old
if I
ones.
knew.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
neither of us were allowed to watch SpongeBob.
That's wild.
That's
That's
not
okay.
fair.
There were shows that I couldn't watch either.
Yeah.
When I was
Do you
a
know how
kid.
many
That just
adult
wasn't
jokes
one
are
of
in
them.
that on that show?
I've never-
a really common show.
SpongeBob is a very
Yeah.
common
People
show.
to not.
Yeah.
Oh, for people to not get to watch?
Yeah.
Is that really?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know a lot of people that
Oh.
weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
I think my mom let me watch that because she liked it, so she would let me watch it because she was like, finally a cartoon that I don't hate. So then I got to watch
If you had
it.
said Phineas and Ferb,
Oh
I would have
yeah,
been on it.
sure.
Actually, no, not really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
There was 104 days summer vacation.
School comes
Right.
around, just end it, you know?
We're
Right.
not doing that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's transition. All right. So you guys got 6 out of 10. You still did very well. You're still gonna get
No, we
stickers.
didn't.
Don't worry.
We didn't do
We did
very
like
well.
absolutely horrible.
All right. All right. If we're just gonna be honest, yeah, you guys
We literally
did
got
so
4 out of those
terrible.
10
No, I'm just
questions.
kidding.
The rest of them were given to us.
That's okay. All right. So let's get back to where we were. I really liked kind of the track that we had before we played this game. So I want to put us back on that track. Okay. So we had kind of been talking about how you guys kind of approach relationships and how you feel like it's very different as far as like what we've seen in the past, as far as like what the generations above us did versus how it is now. So focusing on the relationship aspect. Okay. So you guys are both in high school. I feel like this is kind of the time where like you start taking ownership of relationships. Like I feel like when you're in middle school or even younger than that, you're like, I have friends, but like it's not really, you know, it's like I have friends because my parents let me hang out with them. And then in high school, you're like, I can be friends with whoever I want if that's really what you choose to do. And I feel like it's becoming increasingly difficult to not only like make friends, but to maintain friends. And maybe that does have something to do with what you were talking about as far as like we can tend to be on the side of like I worry about myself, I don't really worry about you kind of thing. But I feel like there's a lot of things right now that are affecting relationships, and that could be like boyfriend, girlfriend, like relational, like romantic relationships. It can be your family. It can be just like friends. Like I know you guys said that you became like besties this year. So as you guys,
say besties. I
don't use the word besties, so.
what would you say?
Literally,
Acquaintances?
friends. Yeah, maybe just
Strong acquaintances.
like mid.
slightly mid. It's given mid.
No, we're good friends.
Yeah, we're decent friends.
All right, you guys are decent
like
friends.
To admit it. She doesn't like to admit it, but we are.
In the words of Sally Matson, I have two decent friends here with me today. So okay, thinking about your broad scope of the relationships that you have in your life. Okay, when we talk about like COVID, like this is something that nobody's had to deal with before. It's not like every 10 years we have a new COVID and everybody locks down for 2-3 years. Like this has never happened. Well, at least for like the last couple generations. Yeah. So when you look at your relationships, let's talk about more on like a friends / like romantic relationship side. Like how has COVID impacted like what you guys are able to do as far as those relationships go?
I think for me, friendships are often like forced proximity, like means I'm friends with somebody.
Okay.
And so when like COVID, we're like all isolated, and so therefore I didn't have any friends.
Yeah. Which
wasn't entirely a bad thing, but because to make friends, like I have to be around them a lot because I'm just not very good at like going out there and being friends with somebody. Like literally, like we're friends because of things we have together now. Whereas otherwise we would have never been friends. And I can say that about like all the friends I have now are because I had them in something, and then we spent so much time together that some of us we are close because we spent so much time together, and now like it's kind of natural. But some of them, like the only reason I'm really friends with them is because I spend time with them. Like if I stopped, like if I lost a class with them or something, I'm just not very good at like keeping it up, and so I would probably lose the friendship solely because I'm just like it's bad on my part. And so I think with COVID, like that happened a lot, and so like you know I lost a lot of friends. Yeah. But like at the same time, I think I learned that I like being alone. So.
Oh, really? So you kind of learned that about yourself, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I don't
so like for you, proximity matters as far as like maintaining friendships. So sorry, Lily, I'll come to you. I promise. So this just kind of works really well. So like for you, does it need to be face to face, or like can you like FaceTime somebody and feel close to them?
Yeah, I could FaceTime somebody, but it's me like putting myself out there and even like saying we should FaceTime, which I'm not. I don't really do that.
People call you. You don't call people. Like one of those things.
Sometimes.
Or okay.
But like at the same time, like not entirely. But like, would I reach out to somebody I haven't talked to in a while? No.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not. I just don't like. I wish I did. But I just find it like awkward to myself. Which it's not, but I do.
No, but I think that's. But not everyone's the same, like, at the same place as far as, like, being introverted or extroverted. So, like, for somebody like me, it really depends. But sometimes, like, it could be somebody that I went to high school with that I was best friends with throughout all of high school. I could not talk to them for, like, 6 years. But if they're like, hey, we should FaceTime, I'm like, yes. And then I FaceTime them, and that's fine. But then for some people, it's like, like, I don't really want to do that. And I think that's okay.
And I think it's because maybe I'm an introverted person. And so it's like... Do I want to speak to them? Sure, but do I feel like I need to like keep up? Like no, like I can survive on my own pretty easily. Yeah. But like sometimes do I wish that I felt the need to? Yes, because then I would like push myself to actually do it.
Yeah, I like that. But I also think it's good that you learned about yourself that like you like being alone sometimes and you're okay with being alone sometimes. Yeah. But like I feel like if a relationship for you matters enough, like you're gonna pursue it. Like if it's somebody that you feel like you're close with. All right, so Lily, for you, like, because just from knowing the two of you, I feel like you're more extroverted. So, like, for you, did COVID, like, was it more of like an I need to be next to you thing for you, or can you just be friends with anyone even if you haven't talked to them for a while?
It was weird because, like, most of my friends are like older than me, and like when I was in 7th grade, I made a lot of friends, and then they all went to high school and I was in 8th grade, and I had to like kind of adjust to like kind of like my old friends, you know, but like I never really got as close with them as I did with the kids, like with the older kids with me. So I really didn't have like completely like strong connections around that time because I was in 8th grade when COVID hit, and which is weird to say, but I was.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's wild. And yeah, so I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal for me because, like, it's not like I, like, lost my friends, really, because I still kept up with some of my old friends, but, I mean, it was just kind of whatever, you know, until, like, I got into high school, and then I, like, you know, rekindled my old relationships, and then now I actually have, like, my really, really solid friends again, And
Okay.
now, I feel like if COVID hit now, I would definitely be a lot worse than I was at the time.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Like, is there something you can like highlight within yourself that you feel like makes that difference?
Because at that time, I just really didn't have like the solid connections I have now. And I am just doing more now than I was before. And because like right now, I love to keep myself busy, you know? I love to be doing stuff, but I also love to be not doing anything. Like,
yeah, sure.
It depends, you know? I can never be like in between, you know? Like I'll have like a week where I'm doing one thing every single day. And then like on Sunday, I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting out of bed, you know?
That's fair though.
And, yeah, so I feel if we had COVID now and I wasn't allowed to leave the house, like I would not do well at all. Because sometimes even now when I have nothing to do on like a full weekend, I'm like, oh no, I need to do something.
Like I need to find a friend and like do something. So you've in a way like you have more ownership over your friendships now. Like you feel like you have like some stake, like some stock in those relationships to where like you care about them and you want them to continue. So like COVID now for you would be like, I don't get to see my friends, like I hate this.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's really good. I like that. So what about for the both of you, when we talk about social media as a whole, so let's talk about like even this, right? Like listening to podcasts or, you know, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that, like Snapchat, is that helpful? Is it hurting? Like, how do you see that playing out? And maybe not like, we don't have to generalize. We can just talk about your guys' own experience for now, and then we can kind of figure it out. But how have you seen that kind of impact your life?
I think it depends on where you as a person are. Because, like, for me, I think I've grown a lot to the point where those things don't really harm me. And, like, seeing other people and, like, my expectations, like, being higher. Like, I don't know. I don't base my life off of other people. Maybe I used to. And so maybe, like, it can definitely sometimes hurt people in that they wish their life was like other people's based on the best that they see. Like everybody puts their best out on social media.
Sure.
And so like in that way it can be harmful. But I think it's also like, I don't know, for me I really like sharing like my parts of my life through like in Instagram. Like I really enjoy like sharing my life in like a creative way.
Yeah.
And so I think it doesn't hurt me as much as it used to, maybe, because now it's more of like a platform where I can be more like creative.
Sure.
Whereas I judge my like other people's lives based off like the best they put out. And so I think it can definitely go both ways.
Sure. So it's almost for you it's more of it depends on how like secure you are in yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Lily, what about you?
Yeah, I would say mine's very similar, but I feel like it could definitely it really just depends. I was about to say I feel like it could do good more than bad, but then I think about it and like no, it could definitely do both for sure. Like for me, like I'm like I know where I stand on things. I am like a solid person, you know, like, and I'm not gonna let stuff influence me, you know, right now, you know. But if I was in more of like a fragile state, or like if I was more vulnerable, I feel like I could definitely let stuff influence me a lot. Sure. And I feel like it wouldn't be good for me. But for me right now, I think I'm good, just like what Sally said.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you both highlight really cool things. So like Sally, you're talking about like being secure, and like if you're not super secure in who you are, like seeing what people do on social media, which is put your best out. Like you're, for the most part, people want you to see like the highlights of their life. Like that can be really damaging because you can be like, well, why isn't my life like this? And like Lily, similarly, but also like you're saying it also, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on what you said.
I said like, I'm blanking on what I said.
You're blanking on what you said too?
Well, I said like, since I don't let like people's, like the things that people say online, like influence me, because I like know where I am, you know?
Oh,
well,
yeah, okay.
Like not towards me, like because if I'm scrolling on TikTok, I don't like post on there. I mean, maybe if I did, then it'd be worse, but like, I don't know. Right now, like I just, like what I see online doesn't influence me because...
So you can see through that because you're more of like you're less of a like, you're not as easily influenced as some other people might be.
Yeah, like if I was in a more fragile or vulnerable state,
sure.
Then I...
So like state of mind for you is a big thing. Okay, that's why I wanted to highlight. I'm sorry, I forgot. So, so you're talking about like the state of mind that you might be in. You're talking about like being secure in who you are. I think those are two like huge things that you need to know about yourself if you want to be able to like really dive into social media without it being super harmful for you. Okay, so we talked about COVID, we've talked about social media. I'm sure there's a million other things we could talk about. But I do want to ask you, both of you, for you, what is the difference, or there can be a couple of things, but what is the difference between a good, like a healthy versus like a toxic relationship? And this can be on any level. So this can be a friendship, this can be a romantic, this can be family. Like, what are some things that you guys have seen that you can highlight?
I think the biggest difference is like the way it affects you, because I don't know, there's definitely ways that you can be friends with somebody who is considered like toxic, like they're not a very good influence on you. But if you don't let them influence you, then it can be a good relationship where like you can be the good influence and you can be like helping them. But if you let it influence you, then I think it becomes like bad on both parts, like because then you're like getting worse instead of helping them get better. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where you can't let them rely fully on you. Like you can't put yourself into a position where, I don't know, like whereas you're the good influence, but it's still like draining you as a person. Right. And so I think you have to just find like a balance where like you have to know like yourself and how far you can go into a relationship or a friendship without letting it pull you under.
So you're kind of highlighting like I would think the technical term like dependency. You're talking about like I don't want to depend on someone to make me happy, but at the same time, like you don't want to overexert yourself to the point where you know that someone is also relying on you to make them happy. Like so both of those can be bad. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's like you cannot. I really want to enforce that. Like you cannot depend on someone or have someone dependent on you, because that's just no good for both of you. Because you never know what can happen. You know, like huge thing. And I don't know. You have to think about when you're in a relationship of any kind. How like I'm not like you have to kind of put yourself first in some circumstances. Like if it's like not doing anything good for you, then obviously it's just not good at all. You know, like it could be doing good for someone else, but like you have to understand that they can't depend on you. You know, like what you were saying. Like if it's not doing good for you, it's doing good for them. Obviously, something's wrong there, because you also just have to like realize, like if you're in like if stuff's not, don't smile at me, Sally. Okay,
you're saying good things. That's why she's smiling. Keep going. You're doing good.
So like think about yourself. Like if your like grades are dropping or whatever your thing is, or if you're doing worse in like a certain thing, you have to like think about like how like what's affecting you to like and like what's making that happen. You know, because for me, like I didn't even realize some of the things that like in like relationships were harmful for me until I sat there and I looked around and I realized like, oh my goodness, I didn't make this, or I got a bad grade on this. And it's because like that stuff really affects you whether you realize it or not. Like really, it really affects you. And like if you want to get out of a relationship and you know it's going to be bad for the other person, like you still have to do it if it's best for you.
Yeah, it can be difficult, for sure.
It's very, very difficult. Especially if you go into it, like, not full-heartedly, you know? Which is, like, just a completely other thing. But, like, you just have to understand, like,
on some level, you have to be responsible for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
You have to be responsible for yourself, and you have to kind of... And if you think that how poorly they're going to react to you, like if you think they're going to like crash, then like that obviously it like is like the first thing that needs to be addressed, you know, because like that itself is already not good.
Yeah, sure. And if I may add, I also think it's very important for you to figure out like what are avenues that you can pursue that help you develop a more secure sense of who you are, because if you're basing the entirety of who you are as a person off of like all the different relationships that you have, basically you're letting each and every person influence who you are, and you're not sending any of that back out. So like, let me ask you guys this. If you're, so like, I feel like, let's say you're trying to figure out who you are, like say you're somebody who's in junior high, because some of our junior hires watch this. So let's say you're younger and you're still trying to figure out like, how do I become responsible for myself, right? What are some things that you, or some avenues or like different things that you guys have done that have helped you kind of develop like a more secure sense of self, like a more secure, like, I know who I am? What are some things that have helped you guys do that?
I think about, like, if you are starting to sense that someone might not be good for you, think about, or like something might not be good for you, think about what it would be, like how it would, like, you could improve, like, without them, which sounds kind of bad, but like, just think about, like, what could be better, like what they could, if they were not negatively affecting you anymore, like what you could improve on, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I feel like that's always the first step to do when you're trying to be more responsible for yourself and like trying to realize what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Yeah, and I think another thing that goes along with what you're saying is, like, and it's important for people to know, it's not selfish to want to take care of yourself.
Exactly, yes.
Like, a big thing about a lot of like mental health is the idea that, like, you shouldn't feel bad for wanting to make sure that you are okay. Like, that's good. And if you're in a relationship that is only negatively affecting you, like, yes, sometimes it is difficult to remove yourself, and like sometimes you do need to like figure out, how can I set this person up to like have success even if I'm not part of that. But at the same time, your first decision needs to be based off of, like, is this good for me? Yeah. Because if it's not selfish for you to say, like, I do not need to be in this relationship.
It might not even be their fault either.
Right. And
like,
it does not have to be someone's fault. Like, some people, some personalities just don't go well together. Yeah, and that is what it is. So, all right, Sally, do you have any, like, is there a place that you feel like you can go? Is there a certain like type of person that you should want to be around? Like, what do you got?
I think what helped me a lot is honestly COVID. Like, but I think that it's very like catered to like me as a person, because
that's okay though.
Like, through COVID, I kind of like learned to be alone and like learned to like, I don't know, like myself more and like my own company more. And so like being like more content with myself, like I kind of know my limits, like how much I kind of know when I'm getting like when I hang out with somebody for so long, I can like tell when my body's like kind of shutting down, and I'm like telling myself like, okay, you just need to like
you need to remove
go
yourself
home
kinda,
or something. And so I think, and there's like kind of like different like, I don't know, I think I've learned what my like limits are as a person. And so like even when I am shut in my room alone, I even like I don't know, like I can tell when I'm getting like kind of like, I don't know, like I think I do also need personal reaction, or like when I'm on my phone too much. I think that's a big deal, because I don't know, I just have to like go out to my, like I need to listen to music, or I need to go upstairs and like look at my family member and then go back to my room.
To see some faces. Like,
yes, or I just need to do something to change it up a little bit. Yeah,
so you can kind of tell when you're like, I'm becoming a hermit, I need to like get out, you know. Yes. That's good. I like that a lot. I feel like we could keep going forever. We're definitely going to have to resume this at some point, but I definitely, like, I have loved everything that we've talked about. I love that we talked about, like, how mental health can tie into relationships. I love that we talked about getting to know yourself. Let me ask you guys one more quick thing, and then we'll do one more fun thing, and then we'll close out, okay? So, when we talk about our youth group, okay, as I would consider you guys both to be, like, in a way, like, student leaders of our, because, like, you guys are more influential people who are in I think, well, what I'm saying is, like, you guys are, like, I think when people come to youth group, they notice that you guys are there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, when you think about that, like, what are some things that you find important as far as, like, the youth group setting, that you're like, I want to make sure I'm modeling this. Like, I want to make sure people are seeing this, like, in our youth group.
Something that I'm not very good at it, but like, I don't know, like, just like being nice to others in general. Like, I feel like, or like showing respect for others, I think is an important thing. Which I think I'm better at showing respect for others than being nice to others. I'm not very good at that.
That's not true. Sally Matson is a nice person.
When she wants to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right. But I think showing respect for others is really important to me.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when you're talking, not talking over you is a big Or like, you know.
Yeah, Mitchell
Not-
Cunningham. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't even.
I'm sorry. We just have
there.
already mentioned Mitchell Cunningham so many times. I was like, I feel like I have to. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just
Not
yes,
sorry.
or like
Mitchell.
the little ways you can, like even like talking to your friend for like 2 seconds and
Yeah.
then stopping.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like I think having respect is a big deal for
Yeah.
me.
Okay. Lily, what are you trying to want? What do you want people to see when they come to youth group? If they're like, oh, there's Lily Churchwell. Like, what do you want them to see you doing at youth group?
I feel like I've been disagreeing with Sally this entire time, but I definitely, like, I feel like one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone dismisses someone else. Like, when they are, like, there's, like, some sort of, like, inside joke between people that's not them, and it's just, like just them, like, making someone a joke, you know? Because that just makes me so upset, you know? Because, like, people, everybody's a human, you know? Like, you can't just treat someone like they're, like, some big inside joke and just dismiss them like they're not a human like they actually are.
Yeah, so you're talking about inclusion. Like, you want
Yes.
people, like, when they show up to feel like they're part of the group. Like, you don't want people to feel like they're
You're
on
not
the
disagreeing
outside.
with me.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah, you
Well,
did a
yeah.
good job. That was your own thought.
You're
You
not
did
saying- you're
great.
not
Yeah.
Finally.
You're not saying disrespect.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about, like, you want
Yeah.
people to feel like, oh, like, it doesn't matter if I'm, like, okay, if I'm a kid, let's say I go to Hillsborough High School, right? And I know who you are, but we're not really friends. Like, if I show up to youth group, like, your goal is for me to feel like we can still, like, be friends. Like, we can, like, have conversations, like, and I think that's important. I think what you're highlighting is good because it's important for people to know that, like, not everyone's your best friend. It's just not, that's just the truth. Like, you are not going to be best friends with everyone. You might not even be, like, you might just know who people are.
Yeah.
And, like, that might be, like, all that it is. And that's okay. But in certain spaces, or like what you said, there will never be a lack of respect. And, like, we will never just not want you to feel welcome. Like, there's always going to be a, like, hi, how are you? Like, you can always come here and feel welcome in our group. I think that's really good. I like that a lot. All right, well, let's play one more quick thing. I have some rapid fire questions for you guys.
Oh boy. Okay.
I want you to answer them as quickly as you can, okay? So I'll say, when I say the
I'm
question,
gonna shout out lies or something.
you're just going to, like,
On
be like,
accident.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
All right, it's
try.
okay. It's okay. If you need a second to think, you can, but
Okay.
try to go as fast as
Okay.
possible, all right?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1. What is your favorite animal?
Panda.
Giraffe.
I like both of those. Those are both good. I like that. All right. Number 2, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, time manipulation.
Oh no.
Oh, that is crazy. I
No,
like
I'd
that.
probably
That's a good
have-
answer.
I thought about that before.
The ability to fly.
Flying, I like. That's good. All right, number 3, your favorite place to go or hang out in Hillsborough. That's not your own house.
Literally nowhere.
I like going
What can you
to
do?
like the old lake at like sunset, like watching
Yeah.
the sunset by the
Oh,
like 4th
yes,
of July
the
point.
lake.
Yeah,
I like going
Yeah,
there.
I like Hillsborough Lake.
that's cool. Yeah, I haven't spent enough time out there yet. I need to go there more often once it warms up. Not right now. Number 4, if you could have any pet, anything for a pet, what would it be? An
Flamingo.
animal. A flamingo.
Yes.
No.
Sally goes no.
I keep
I
it in my
think
backyard.
I'm gonna go with like the basic dog. Like
Just a dog.
dogs are just great.
Yeah, that's why I have Bentley. She's just a good
and,
dog.
and, like domesticated and everything.
I'd keep it in my front
Yeah.
yard.
So-
And
Just
feed it
a
like
fr-
purple shrimp so you got purple.
So you
stick
just
thing.
have a flamingo walking around in your front yard, Lily?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I like the way
Oh,
you
that
think.
would be cool.
All right, if you could,
That'd be okay. I feel like that'd be scary.
if you could live in any U.S. city, where would you live?
Kansas City.
All right. Reason?
I was born there, and it's really cool.
You were born in Kansas City?
I was born in Kansas
I
City.
did
No,
not
I
know
did
that.
not know that about you.
I don't know. Probably in I don't know about cities specifically, but probably
She's a country
somewhere
girl.
probably somewhere up north, like vaguely in like Montana or something, like near like Glacier.
Something like
Like-
scenic.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. All right.
Okay.
All right, number 6. This is one that is new as of last episode. Who is your? We're gonna name drop. Okay.
Oh,
I don't.
Who is your favorite teacher at HHS? And why?
Daniel Drake.
And tell everybody why.
Because I like his teaching. Well, I like his. I like his teaching style. I used to like our friendship. And I like band.
So he's your favorite, Mr. Drake. I feel like I hear you say his name a lot, so that makes sense.
Shout out to Mr. Drake.
All right. Sally, who's your favorite?
I think that I don't know if I have a favorite teacher exactly. It's more like in every class, like the people in that class make it a good class.
That's fair.
Rather than the teacher.
Do you have like a teacher that you
But-
click with though? Like someone that you're like, oh yeah, like I can always talk to them.
Melissa.
No, maybe. I don't know. I think maybe Amy Lemons. Just because I like I mean, you know, we're going to spend a lot of time together in a few weeks with operetta and everything.
Sure, yeah.
We've had, like, Mrs. Lemons, I've had that teacher for,
That's
the
true.
past 5 years.
Yeah, I've had
Okay.
her since
every
6th
year.
grade, so
So,
I
it's,
feel like there's a connection
Alright.
there of some sort.
I like that. Okay, number 7. Who's your favorite music artist right now?
there's so many.
Just right now. Like if you could listen to anyone right now, who would it
Can
be?
I look up
Probably One Direction.
One Direction?
Probably.
I don't have
Okay.
It's been a lot recently.
What's your favorite song of theirs? I respect that.
Oh my Lanta, there's so many. Probably Stockholm
man.
Syndrome, Henrietta. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think I
Alright.
have very like favorite.
Sally, you're taking too long.
I'm sorry. Well, okay, the last 3 songs are Vance Joy, so
Vance
on my
Joy.
playlist, but
Okay.
that's a recent one.
That's fair. That's good though. It's good to like have new people. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 8. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest phobia? What are you most afraid of?
Probably rejection. I hate that. It
Ooh,
happens
that's
a
a
lot.
good one. I
It
like
happens
that
a lot
answer.
to me, but I hate it every time, and it scares me. So
Yeah.
I never do things that cause rejection.
All right.
I'm not scared of much.
She's brave.
Probably.
She's a brave
I don't know. Maybe like. I don't do well with embarrassment. Maybe that.
Being embarrassed.
Yeah.
Wow, those are like literally my 2 biggest fears. So I feel like those are great. Okay, number 9. You get dinner with any person, dead or alive. Who are you going to dinner with?
Maybe Lily.
I would say
Any person. I don't know. I'm not big on like. Who's somebody really interesting?
I'm gonna say Lizzo.
Interesting.
That'd be really fun. I just want to
Okay.
talk to her.
Lizzo,
I want to talk
yeah.
to her really badly.
I feel like there's definitely people out there who I'd be interested in getting dinner with,
Mhm.
but I don't really know.
Or Tupac.
I mean, maybe to steal Trevor's answer, like Jesus.
Jesus? I feel
I feel
that's
like
a safe answer.
That is
Yeah.
a safe
Pretty safe
answer.
answer.
That's also a bit like there's
I
so
feel like
many
it's like a
questions.
valid
Yeah,
answer
there's so
too,
many
though.
questions you could ask. All right, that's good. Number 10. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about this. You're trapped on a desert island. You can only bring 3 things. What are you bringing?
My local ginger.
So you're bringing Sally.
I'm not bringing
No.
Lily.
I wouldn't bring
Okay.
Sally.
I think. What do you need on a probably some?
A canoe.
Is that allowed?
No, you can't bring anything that will like help you escape.
Oh.
Oh,
These are just things to
I
survive.
think a book on survival.
Okay, a
in
survival
nature,
guide.
A book on
That's
survival
good.
in nature. I would bring.
Jesus.
I think I'd.
You can make me whatever I want.
I'd bring.
So you would bring Jesus simply so he can do things for
I'd bring.
you.
And like, so I could be like, I love you, Jesus.
I think I'd bring a ukulele
A phone
Okay,
charger.
I
for
like-
entertainment, and I'd bring my Nalgene water bottle.
Oh my goodness.
What's
You
the
could
brand
just use
again?
A coconut or
Now-
something.
Okay.
And this one specifically.
All
You
right.
could literally just bring coconut. Like, use a coconut for a water bottle.
Wow,
You
why
gotta get
would I do
creative.
that? I have a Nalgene water bottle.
You could bring something else. Like,
Or some.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe I'd bring a device that changes salt water into fresh water.
That's what we had that answer last
Oh,
was
did
like a
you?
water filtration. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that one.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
good
feel like
answer.
with my book, it would just.
It would teach you how to do
me
that.
it,
Right.
Which I know how to do. So make a
Not me.
tent above salt water, let it evaporate, and then spill into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lily's like, yeah, me too.
Yep.
All right. All right. Before we wrap it up, I just feel like I have to say thank you guys for coming on. I feel like this was a very fun episode. We will definitely have to do this again.
I will not be
Um,
watching this.
You have to. No, I'm just kidding. You don't
I'm
have to
gonna
watch
watch it.
yourself.
Can you please make a compliment?
Before we wrap all this up, one thing I want to do is I want you guys to give a shout out to someone or something that you believe needs a shout out. Something that
Needs a
you
shout
think
out.
deserves some attention. What you got? Trevor shouted out his mom.
I think
Um,
I was gonna shout out my mom.
You were gonna shout out your
Yeah.
mom?
I
Yeah.
think my mom's underappreciated.
Underappreciated.
Controversial.
By herself too. She doesn't. She's much better mom than she thinks she is.
All right, I like
Can I be
that.
controversial?
You can
Absolutely
say
not.
whatever you want.
Get
Well,
the vaccine. Get vaccinated. Get boosted. Get
I need to
vaccinated.
get boosted.
Don't die.
Lily
I love the vibe.
wants you to be happy and healthy. So
Happy,
she's
healthy,
Sally wants
vaccinated life. It's a good one. There you
Yep.
go.
All right, great.
Hashtag Pfizer.
So Lily's giving her shout out to Pfizer. She feels like they just really need some more attention
Science.
there.
Science!
Yay for science. All right, fair enough. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you guys all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and remember to follow us on Instagram and to just keep subscribe. Make sure you're keeping up with everything we're doing here. So, see you guys.